All right, so football season's kind of coming up. Investors Group Field, by all indications anyways, will be open. Bombers released their plan for parking. Basically, the short form of it, 5,000 spots on campus, you need a season pass. There's boosters outside of the university where you can park, but they set their own. You can ride your bike in as long as you're the first 400.
As long as you're
It'll
sober.
be looked at.
Yes, nobody
please
is.
be sober doing that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, there's transit options as well, which is free with your game day ticket. All that info, investorsgroupfield.ca/fans. Now,
To get that
see,
in there.
Tracy, I told you I would do it really fast.
I know.
I explained this in the newsroom, and it took about 20 minutes.
I was like,
It's the segment, guys.
Tracy's like, I'm buying a season pass, and I will just park there.
I'll just park there.
But that's the thing. Now they're saying, because they're only going to allow 5,000 or so on campus, it should help with traffic in that area, which is one of the big things that everybody's kind of concerned about. But I mean, do any of these options? I mean, there's bus, there's bike, and then I mean, if you're one of the lucky people that can get a season pass and get in there, do any of those options appeal to you, or is it?
Don't you have to pay like $200?
Yeah, $210 to get
Right.
one of those season passes on top of your season ticket.
What, for the bike rack?
No, the bike rack's free.
I paid $200 for my bike. I can't afford.
Yeah, no, the bike rack's free.
You got a nicer bike than me.
So, like, do you think this makes people maybe a little bit more conscious about how they're getting to the games? Is transit therefore more
I
viable?
think they're forced to be more conscious. I don't think they have an option. I mean, to me, I don't know. I always found parking to be kind of hard to find around the old stadium sometimes, but you hiked it, you tailgate in some of the parking lots, $5 to park in a parkade, or one of the businesses, and you throw some beers back before you head into the stadium there. But yeah, it was kind of slim pickings back then. So if it's any better,
like, I can't understand why so many people are whining and complaining about the parking when there's no difference. Like, the parking wasn't amazing at the last stadium. It was pretty brutal.
Bombers are saying those 5,000 spots is 5 times what you could have got at Canada.
Really?
well, then I feel like there's no problem. Well, that's the segment, guys. So
All right, good. Nothing to discuss here. Yeah.
It's for me, it's really interesting to bring transit into it because it's such a tough sell in the city. And Jay will know that I am not a fan of the transit system.
I will know I'm not a fan either.
But even when they do something good, which is for a lot of events, it's a great option. I was going to call it the fair. If that makes sense. the Winnipeg X. Every year, right? They have a free bus. The shuttle that comes right from downtown and all the way down.
Well, no, I think the Bombers do the same thing where with the game day ticket.
It's perfect.
You
don't have to deal with parking. You don't have to walk 1,000
Well,
miles.
here's the only thing that's not perfect. I used to work the Jumbotron at Bomber games.
no way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They allowed you to do that?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Well, until the incident. But
Your stock just went up with me so much.
if you are going to take a bus after a Bomber game, you'd better make sure to get some drinks in you.
Oh,
because
I agree.
What I would do is I'd work the Jumbotron, and while working the Jumbotron, you don't generally get drunk.
No, right.
So I'd get on the transit bus afterwards, and I would be the one out of the 480 people that squished onto the bus that wasn't drunk. So I would just sit there hating life, like, oh God, shut up, you guys. Oh yeah, okay, you're gonna get some pizza, great. Yeah. So make sure if you're gonna take a bus after a Bomber game, take a Mickey with you, even just for the bus ride. Just,
Absolutely. Kill the pain.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
I
a good
agree with
point.
Jay. I have rode the bus before on the way to Bomber games and on the way back. And neither way is enjoyable.
Really?
But the way back is much, especially after a loss.
Yeah.
Like if Bombers lose, oh man, and then people start bickering to each other about if there's Saskatchewan Roughriders fans.
I'm just picturing everybody on the bus crying.
yeah, well, that happens to you for sure. Very ominous.
And then just these abrupt yelling fits and cuss words like you've never even heard before, like new ways to spin the F-bomb. Like it's just, and it's
Very
so
creative,
uncomfortable.
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's just not a pleasant place to be sometimes.
But I mean, it's a lot better than waiting in traffic, right? I mean,
Right.
it does get you there quicker, and it is a good option, not having to worry about drinking
Well,
or
you
not
can always leave
drinking.
the game a little bit earlier, then you don't have to worry about
No one in Winnipeg would ever do that. No one in Winnipeg would ever leave a game early.
It'll be a transition for sure. I mean, they're saying they're going to monitor it throughout the first year. It's going to be a learning process, of course. But Tracy, you were saying you were down at the Met. Was it a couple of days ago?
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And the parking there is atrocious.
It
There's
sucks.
nowhere to park.
Where?
The Metropolitan.
Oh,
So
yeah,
right
yeah,
across from
yeah.
the arena. So what's going to happen when the arena has an event, they have events, there's no parking. None. And then they're building a hotel across the street. So
I guess they're hoping for parking from there. But the thing is, I mean, what I've noticed with a lot of Winnipeggers is like there is a lot of parking. It's the walk, right?
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when it gets into January, it's
Yeah,
it's that walk. That's the
I would
issue.
I really would love for people to just start thinking about alternatives, and maybe all of these things downtown is going to be the way that Winnipeggers finally decide that they need to think about some things other than their cars. And
Yeah.
we talked about this before, but I mean, you go to Toronto, you don't even dream of buying a car because you just take the subway everywhere you go, and it's faster to do it.
When you take it downtown one time and realize you spent like $85 on parking for one day, like I'm gonna leave it at home tomorrow. I think,
and
you
it's
know?
convenient
Yeah.
because there are plenty of stops, so you're not waiting for 25 minutes for a bus if you miss the first one, things like that, right? And this city has to think about better alternatives for a non-car society, but instead we spend tons of money on fixing our roads and making our bridges to be able to hold more cars because
Yeah.
we're going to have more cars on the
Well,
road.
and
Well, that
constantly
is totally opposite.
more, like expand and expand and
Yeah.
expand and create more and more need for cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because we can't do it. We're not set up as a city for it. And as we get more people, more cars doesn't make sense. I mean, they expand the Osborne Bridge outwards, but it still bottlenecks at the end. I mean, that's the funniest thing to me in the whole world.
It
you
really
know?
is, yeah.
Okay.
We can now fit more people on the bridge. Good news. Okay.
I remember enduring a very dry city politics class, but the one thing I remember is that to have that vibrant downtown, that's exactly the options you have to have. And multi-use facilities was another big word that I remember. I guess it's a couple of words, but that's
Like
that's
Well, just throw a bunch of hyphens in there. It's one
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
There's
There's multiple uses for Bourne's points.
it really is. Well, I guess we'll see. Wait and see. I guess Bombers home opener obviously coming up pretty soon. Thanks for enduring me as a host.
You did.
You did an amazing job.
This is a very this was
Blew my
fun.
mind, Mitchell.
Thanks, man. All right, I guess back to work, eh?
Yeah.
Yay.
No roundup here.
No, I was gonna say, but you did, so it's all good. Round up your roundup.
Awesome.
Nice. Good job, guys.
bada bing.